Alright, I've had a lot of people tagging me to this topic, and I've been putting off talking about it. Happened a week ago, although there is an important update that just came out yesterday. But I've been putting off talking about it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's just a highly disgusting, upsetting topic. And yeah, it's just not something I enjoy talking about at all. It's sickening. Second thing is I've been waiting to see if there would be any official statement from Funimation or anything about this, or if the dude would respond to these accusations. And there's just been radio silence from Daman Mills and from Funimation, because he is the current VA for Frieza, to my understanding. But we do have an update from yesterday, and I guess this is why he was silent. But let me give you guys the information to the best of my understanding, and then we'll get to the update. Also, a quick side note, if you find this topic important, please consider giving a thumbs up on this video, because I'm not monetizing it, and some people say that makes it harder for the video to get out there, so that'll help my subscribers that want to see it be able to see it. Thank you. Alright, so a week ago on March 8th, there was news, headlines titled, "Voice actor ADR director Daman Mills accused of sexual misconduct." And so a public Google document was made where Daman Mills was accused of being in his early 20s and saying a number of things and doing a number of things that are considered sexual misconduct to this high school student who at some points between their discussions and the acts that were performed on him was between 15 and 16 years old. Now, this alleged stuff seems to have taken place between 2014 and 2015. The alleged victim did make a statement regarding why he came forward now all these years later, saying he was just trying to get the story out there because it did happen, as unbiased as he can be. This all did happen to him, and when things like this happen, people should feel comfortable speaking up about it. So make of all that and all of this what you will. And so I read the document, and it included messages allegedly from Daman to this kid, where it was talking about him asking the kid about his private areas, asking him if he touches himself, things like that. Things that people would also argue is just like grooming as well. And to what I read, man, it looked like the kid really was not having any of this. Like the conversation was making him uncomfortable, but allegedly, if this really was Daman in the messages, dude was persistent in, just saying all this disgusting stuff. So to my understanding, Daman first started talking to this boy when he was like 15 years old, talking to him on Facebook, and ultimately Daman moved to Ohio from Hawaii, conveniently an hour away from where the boy lives. Now keep in mind, all this stuff was alleged, but at some point, allegedly, Daman began sleeping over at this boy's house. At this point, the boy being 16 years old, and they're sleeping in his twin-sized bed, and the boy wakes up to Daman feeling him up, and at some point during that night, or a different night where they were having a so-called sleepover, Daman was also found to be just like whacking off right next to the kid. In other words, doing the sort of stuff you just imagine a chomo doing, except the ultimate worst act, which I'll let you fill in the blank on that one. Now, people might question why this boy was still like having sleepovers with Daman. I have no idea. Allegedly, when the boy was also 17 years old, Daman was trying to get him to perform an oral interaction, so to speak, with them. I'm like, man, I'm beating around the bush with a lot of this stuff. Again, this topic is highly disgusting to me. It's just disturbing, but I hope you get the point here. Although, let me give you the update now. So that's really the gist of the allegations, although there's a lot of details I skipped out on. But again, that's the gist of the allegations. And here's the update from March 14th, 2022. It says, the alleged victim has retracted his accusations and issued the following statement, where he does just that. He says he permanently retracts those statements regarding Daman, and he wishes to apologize as well. So apparently Daman had got legal counsel from this law firm in California, sent a cease and desist letter, as you know, giving the boy until February 25th to agree to cease and desisting, so to speak, or facing potential legal action, including potential liability for damages, costs, and expenses. Also, the boy is now an adult after this time has passed, of course. I'm just saying boy to not make this confusing and to not name the alleged victim. And clearly you can see there's something a bit interesting with the timing here. If he was given until February 25th and these accusations were just retracted yesterday, something seems a bit interesting with that, to my opinion. Like maybe at first he was not going to give in to the cease and desist, but changed his mind at some point. Ultimately, that's my understanding of the situation. You can look into this all more yourself. And from what I've seen, a lot of people on various forums and Twitter places talking about this, a lot of people are really skeptical about the allegations suddenly being retracted. A lot of them are convinced, from what I've seen at least, that the victim is indeed a victim and he's being silenced. There's also a lot of people talking about the hypocrisy that's been going on in this situation, because Daman Mills was apparently one of the people that was rather vocal speaking out against Vic Mignogna in 2019. And the stuff Vic Mignogna was accused of was not even close to the level of stuff that Daman Mills was accused of. So people point out the disgusting hypocrisy of Daman Mills talking about Vic like that, but allegedly being involved in a situation like this. And also how other voice actors were going after Vic and apparently being radio silent about this whole Daman Mills thing. And so people point out that hypocrisy, especially so because a lot of those voice actors were saying at the time back in 2019 with the Vic situation that they quote unquote believe all victims. And so apparently they don't actually stand by that because they're radio silent with this situation involving another VA in their industry. And hypothetically, if Daman Mills really did this stuff, do you really want him at conventions with children? And just imagine that. But ultimately, once again, those allegations were retracted. That's the situation. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you tomorrow for the next one.